the president is undertaking and the attendant challenges, the attendant pains. The president has spoken about this, and we've heard that. Look, he knows, and he has said that he knows that these are challenging, but he has also, always said that it's for a while, and that it is what will follow will be indeed what everybody wants. There's no way that we can get to where we need to be if we don't take some of these painful measures. That's what we're hearing from the president. And this is a difficult message because, as I said, especially if you haven't been told this day in, day out. But the president has always kept to his word. He did say at the time, before becoming the president, before being voted in, that we would have to do away with fuel subsidy. And so there was a sense in which people were a bit surprised that it was as quickly done as it was. And do you think that is the way the president is going? Because a lot of people are saying that, wait, the way this president is going, these are things that other people, perhaps lesser mortals, would have left for their second term. And here's the president doing it in his first term.
If you know his history, you cannot deceive anybody. It's something that has been long overdue. We are subsidizing other countries. Most of the products, they go to West Africa because it's cheap. And the current situation in the world does not permit that any longer. You see, every government is known for taking tough decisions. I remember when Lee Kuan Yew was building Singapore, he was demolishing shanties everywhere. They were calling him names. You have to put those things down because he knows where he's going. Majority will not believe you. But today, go to those places where you have those shanties, tall buildings, and those local people were giving those houses to live in. Some of them felt even so timid to climb the tall buildings to go and live. He tried to sanitize the city. So there's a price to pay for any good thing you will get. Yori, there's a price to pay. It's not a tea party. It's not a one-way traffic.
Perhaps people
there are prices that you have to pay. You say, okay, let me suffer this for tomorrow.
People understand that. And indeed, most reasonable people will say, whereas we understand what our government is doing, President Tinubu's agenda, his programs, his reforms, and I'm ready to suffer, to tighten my belt. But they also expect, can you help us out a bit? Now, I have heard people who have said that a lot of things have begun to happen since President Tinubu took over. But unfortunately, they're not seeing those things, and they're blaming perhaps other centers, like go to the governors. The governors have begun to receive a lot more than they ever received before. We come into talking about fuel subsidy. Why are people not talking to the governors? Because after all, it is the states that make up the country. Why are you not talking there? President Tinubu and his team are the guys getting all the flack. You can understand it?
Because it's the one sitting at the top, the highest stake column, Some of us don't know. Some people don't ask how much is getting to their governors, how much is getting to their local government. They don't talk about it.
But that's the real key.
That's the real key. Because they get their allocation every month. There are so many things. There are certain things I will not say here. Let me shock you. Some of the things that were given to the governors, some of them don't get to the people.
Well, this is
some governance.
Yes, but unfortunately, not enough people understand it like this, and because
even to the local government levels,
we've had people here who have said what you are saying, that people should know where to face. The president, the buck stops at the president's desk. Nobody's arguing that point. But people should also know where to face. And the way it is, that's why I said
the president is not the governor of Lagos State.
Perhaps the government's men need to be explaining this a lot more, because whether Well, it's not so much whether we like it or not. It's like willy-nilly, because the president has told us what his roadmap is, and everybody approves of that roadmap. Everybody approves that you want to lift the standard of living of the country. Everybody approves that you need to reform those things that need to be reformed. But you see, the attendant pains, and you can't blame him. He wasn't emphasizing those ones.
Yeah, what we're telling Nigerians is that, it will get a little bit worse before it gets better.
That's the stage we're in now.
Just hope. Believe in this man. I was compelled to go and do a short history about the man that's in the saddle now. I mean, I should write a small history about him. If you talk about this light rail project we are talking about, this one, red line, blue line, and all the lines, it was the master plan that was drawn by 18 of them when he came to power in 1999. That's what is still trending in Lagos these days. So you give him time. You see, we say we love this president because he can be trusted, because he knows where he's going, because he's dependable. So that is what he's bringing to the table. Yes, things are hard. Things are hard. Our currency cannot buy you a lot of things that we used to do before. So we are pleading with Nigerians.
You know, the value of the naira has gone to the dogs, virtually gone to the dogs, and people are connecting this to monetary policies, and of course the president.
Previous monetary policies.
Yes. Yes. Meanwhile, they're working around the clock on this, but in our very before, the dollar, naira to the dollar almost hit 2,000. In fact, it did. It did, momentarily.
People were buying for 1,008, 1,007, up to 2,000, waiting that it will be 2,500.
I mean, it's a crying matter. It's not a laughing matter.
3,000.
Yes.
So, you see,
and opposition even chipped in that.
Yes.
This thing is going to be 4,000 naira to the dollar. Opposition chipped in.
So, you help those who want to buy and keep, to invest more money on it. You see, let me tell you.
So you are talking about understanding.
Yes, we are the problem. There are certain things, people of other nations cannot do. There are certain things they cannot do. Let me ask you, is dollar our currency? We are doing ourselves. There are certain things I will not say here. We are the progenitors of what we are witnessing today. We are the one that started it.
We ourselves.
From house to house.
You mean?
You take money or you steal money. 5 billion, 10 billion, 15 billion, 20 billion. Nigerians are not afraid to take any amount. They can go and pack it in their houses. They will just go call their boys. Or go to the market. Any amount. They themselves will get from it. Any amount. We just go and keep the lot as a very small box. Put it in his house.
Well,
that is what is going on. That's what is going on.
Indeed. Nigerians are in pains. We see positive headlines. The other day, one headline was saying Tinubu's reforms will lead to prosperity soon. That was something that Alake said.
It will happen.
Yeah. And the Minister of Information has been saying that, in fact, he even went a step further and was saying that Nigerians have actually begun to benefit from the reforms. That's a bitter pill to swallow, but he knows what he's talking about.
Yes.
He has the figures provided. He was speaking, for instance, about a growth of 3.46% in the fourth quarter of 2023, as opposed to it being 2.54%. So these are statistics. These are statistics. Let me bring in Dr. Ola in Agoiwoye. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in. Please go ahead.
Let me, first of all, thank the guest in the studio. That's Mr. Igbokwe.
Yes.
The issue in this country, there is no doubt about it, that the country is in a mess now. There is problem at hand. Hunger in the land. But I believe we need to be patient. You understand? all what is happening affects every sector in this country. It affects everybody. Even now, the rich also cry. So it affects everybody. There is rot in this. There was rot in the system. And the problem with Tinubu is that he said he did not want to play a blame game. He did not want to accuse the past administration. He just wants to focus on what he wants to do. If you want to plant a seed, you understand, you can't plant a seed today and expect it to germinate tomorrow. You understand? If you take a time, if you plant let me say, a maize, at least it will take 3 months for it to for you to reap the something. So we need to be patient with this government. And secondly, about the governor, let us focus on the governor. Like what you have said, they are receiving times 3 of the allocation they have
That's
been
right.
receiving before. Now, they have commissioner for agriculture. What are they doing with them? They are allocating money, budget every year for agriculture. You understand? Are they following it up? The money you gave to the farmer, did you monitor it? What did you monitor their output at the end of the year? What did they? You understand? So at the end of the day, there will be food in the land. But at least all states have a commissioner for agriculture. The federal government has minister for agriculture. If everybody is working very well and they are spending the money in the right place, definitely we have sufficient food. And there should be a profit to the border, so that no food should go out. Let us be patient before out of this country. Let's be patient with President Tinubu. I believe everything will be okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in. Ola in Agoiwe. Yeah, Ola has spoken well, a lot of people will say, but there's still, we just have to be real. We have to keep it real. As Ola has spoken well, there are people who, will not be as patient as that. But he's explained, and you have, and everybody has used the example of the gestation period. So the sooner we can get through this period, the better. But we've started, and we've started. Tinubu is not a person known to look back. Once he has started, it's, he's forward ever in there. But that is not in any way to say that the people are not feeling the pain. So maybe one has to just acknowledge that it's tough.
Even me,
yes,
at my level, I feel it.
If you say so, Joe, I will believe you.
I feel it.
No, if you say so,
I tell you that
so, Joe, I will believe you.
That I'm not feeling it, then I will be deceiving myself.
Because but that was just a little joke. Everybody is feeling it.
But even it's the price that we have to pay to get a better Nigeria. Every nation is the price.
Okay. Let's hear it from Mazi Okoroafo in Arochukwu. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You see, thank God for the caption there, say bold. Now, when you say this is a bold step which the president has taken, all these reforms he's doing now. Now, I also add to the president a bold step that after this margin, or this merger, the DGs that will be taking some of these areas, those of them that cannot perform according to the president's laid down rules and regulations, they should be sent packing. And they should not be bring into the government within the 8 years of the president. It will help us because the reform is good, as the president have just marked, because as you said, bold. This is a very bold step in saying that past presidents, they'll be afraid what Nigerians will say, what people will complain, how people will talk, how people will say. But for you to step into the decision to do this, that's what the president is. And I'm thank God for the step he has taken. But the issue that I would be happy that no department they have imagined, nobody should lose his work. Rather, they can work what they call pro rata. If maybe in the department they have up to 6 people, the same thing, they work pro rata system in that department or that organization where they are margin.
Yeah.
And we try about also all those areas like this ICPC people have been talking, and the EFCC. look, they are doing a good job.
Yeah.
But I would like a situation whereby the president who said they're going to man those organizations, march them together, let it be somebody that is a fearless, when that person talk, you'll be talking as the president of Nigeria or president of that organization. Not a question of download or step this and no. And we should look at this issue of NAFDAC and NDLE. You see that today, illicit drugs are too many. And when these illicit drugs are too many, it's NAFDAC, NDLE that goes to them. And NDLE and NAFDAC, if all of them they borrow the two, bring the two staff together, and the synergy between two of them in one organization, and they will be going for operation, both after merging them, it will help us stop this illicit drug because, Ayuri, kidnappers, they call it kidnappers, but I call them terrorists. What they do is all these illicit drugs that they take. Honestly speaking, we have to look into that very ministry.
All right then, Mazio Korafo. Appreciate your call. Thank you very much for calling in. Again, another voice counseling patients. You know, if people were to be able to listen, sometimes when you're hungry, people say you don't have hunger in your mind and very much else is there. The president has been explaining this, and some of his men have also been helping to explain the situation here, that it's tough, but we're working. And the president has been quite open. The president has said, when he established this, when he invited the private sector, he said, look, we're not saying we have all the answers, but the one thing that nobody will be able to blame us for is not trying. Yeah. So when he put together that group of the richest man in Africa, our own Aliko Dangote, Lumelu, you know all of them, the BUA guy, all of them, multi-billionaires. These are private sector guys. They don't have anything to do with government. When he brought them, say, you guys, bring your experience. We are government. We know a lot. But former Governor Soludo, he's in there too. He just brought everybody together. He says, let's just brainstorm. What is it that we are doing right, and what is it that we're not doing right? So you can't be plainer than that. He said that all hands have to be on deck, and I think he has shown that aspect. The next level is that people just, as the viewers have been saying, as you have been saying, have to sort of understand him and give it time. But people don't want that time to be too much. We can't overemphasize that.
No president don't want to put his people,
you're right,
in the wrong track.
Did you see the former vice president, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, when he came up with his own, his own idea, and I think what was the country he said was inspiring him? Was it Venezuela or one of those countries?
I didn't read it.
You refused to read it?
No, not that I refused. I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. But you've heard of it, because he has also been putting his own ideas. The president's men have debunked most of those ideas. Say, sir, with due respect, those things don't. You can't compare. It's chalk and cheese. You can't compare. You can't compare. And by the way, we are doing a lot better than that country.
But anybody can give you advice.
Yes.
Anybody.
Yes.
Anybody.
Because the country belongs to us
all.
All, you don't. But you see, one has to know when opposition is working.
Yes.
And
when the real man is coming, bring in the real advice.
When real, constructive criticism
on the table, yes,
is on the table.
One area I want us to look at
in wrapping up,
our attitude to work. We have to look. The president will have to look at the civil service.
But Oronsa here now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, reports. Yes. And they are going there.
And it's going to lead to reforms.
No, the redundant agencies that are not doing anything.
Isn't that the secretary to the government is the head of the panel that's supposed to synergize this?
It will help us.
Oh yes. Somebody I think has even mentioned it. I think it was Ola
from Agwe. I will share a story before we get to it.
Very, very briefly. We're finished here with time here.
I was with somebody in Abuja a few years back.
Okay.
The passenger was in power. And we were discussing Then a permanent secretary was just passing, and he pointed to me. The person I was discussing with is was in government then. He said, look at this one. He said he submitted reports of how to renovate the Nigeria houses across the world. I mean, our embassies.
Yes.
He put the reports. Put money. He didn't say, just show us a pictorial something of what we want to do.
None.
The bill of quantity, the plan, and everything. I said, Madam, go and tell us what you want to do with this money. And millions of dollars.
Well, those days are gone.
These are the things
I know.
That's where we are coming from.
Yes. And those are the days that we won't be seeing.
Do you know that the total budget can be stolen?
I agree with you. But let's leave it here for now. Let's leave it here for now.
Can be stolen.
With your words of courage, words of saying, look, can we be a bit more patient? Painful as it is,
yes,
we're going to have to leave it here.
They
we don't have
they
any
practice
more time.
what is called, pretending to be doing something. Okay. Dynamic inactivity.
A lot of motion and no movement.
No movement.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. Comrade Joe Igbokwe, ABC chieftain, rights of policy analyst, and I think you're also going to nip back straight to continue with the ceremony. Thank you very much for coming over here so we talk about this. That's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.